Hi everyone, welcome to video 4 in the Getting Started with the Our Sci Reflectometer tutorial series. In this video, we're going to actually start using our reflectometer. In the last video, we installed the SurveyStack Kit app, which is necessary for running it, and we got started in SurveyStack. In this video, we're just going to get through calibrating your device. So I've backtracked a little bit on my Android screen. As you can see, I'm back at the start of the survey, but click Start Survey on our nutrient density estimate, and it asks me if I want to calibrate my instrument. If it's been more than 4 hours, so basically if you're starting the day, or if there has been a significant change in weather, like temperature or humidity, you should really recalibrate your device. What this does is it sets the range of values that your device can have with something that is really not reflective and something that is really the most reflective that we imagine, the most reflective thing we imagine your device will encounter. And then everything else that the device scans will fall relative to those. And this is a way to keep your readings consistent over time, even as the device ages. So to run this calibration and get started, I'm going to click yes, run calibration. If you don't click yes, like if you just calibrated, you ran a scan and now you want to run another one, just don't check that box and you'll just run straight to the nutrient density estimate survey and you won't have to calibrate. But I want to calibrate, as I said, and the first thing that we should do before we start is we should clean the light guide on the device. That's this this area here. You can see it's like an acrylic surface. And I'm just going to clean it with the microfiber cloth that comes in my kit. Now that it looks clean, I'm going to power it on. That power button is this little black rectangle. And when it's on, you can see a blue LED come on. In some devices, it's green, but you'll see an LED power on. If there's an LED on, the device is on. I installed my Android app last time, so I don't need to do this again. So I'm just going to click Run Warm Up. The first thing I'll need to do is connect to my device, which requires it to be on. That's why we turned it on before. And because this is the first time connecting my device, I haven't connected this device before. I'm going to click Device, either connect to device above or device list. And I'm going to start search. And the app requires permissions to search, so you need to allow that. It also will ask for things like location. You can choose to deny it. I'm going to allow it. I'm really just using this phone for the reflectometer. So now I'll reinitiate that search. I'll start search. One thing to note, on every device, there's a little tag on the wristband. And you can see a device ID, mine is 249, and the Bluetooth ID, 2F:8B. When you pair a device for the first time, it might not show the device ID. It might just show the Bluetooth ID. Well, and mine actually does show because I have connected this device before, but 2F:8B. So if your device is showing just unknown names like this, look for the last 4 digits of that Bluetooth and it will match the Bluetooth ID on your tag. Click connect. When you pair for the first time on your phone, you might hear a noise and you'll have to swipe down into notifications on your phone. And there will be a setting notification that says, do you want to pair? And you should click yes. And you should put in the digits 1, 2, 3, 4. As noted on your tag, Bluetooth pairing code 1, 2, 3, 4, and that will get you to connect for the first time. Once you've connected before, you can just click disconnect, connect, as I've just done, and you don't need to put that pairing code in again. It's just the first time. Now that I'm connected, I'll go back to run. Also, as a note, if you ever have trouble with any of these things, you can always join our weekly community call. Right now, they're happening Tuesdays, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Time. But it might change in the future. We'll keep that updated online. We also have a forum and we have a hardware support email. Any of those ways are great ways to get in touch with us. Additionally, we have a bunch of online tutorials at this link here. This is all on your one pager. or this QR code, which you can scan, just hover your phone camera over it and a link will pop up. It's the same QR code as what's on your device. So if you lose your one pager, just scan that QR code with your phone camera on your device. But now let's continue. We're connected to Bluetooth. We can start our measurement. This is a warm up. So the results themselves, the reading doesn't matter. I just want the LEDs to sort of get warmed up, get going. And you can see once it goes, those lights are flashing. And you need those lights to be flashing to get the data that we need. Although, again, this data does not matter, but we want the LEDs to be warmed up. And these results, again, they don't matter. And you never really need to look at the screen. What you should look at is you should click done. And once you're back in survey stack, in your survey, you'll see a success banner or an error banner if it's not successful. And that's really all you need to worry about. So now I'm going to click next. My open blank calibration, there are instructions below if you scroll down in for all of these steps. But my open blank, there's a little tab. It's difficult to see. It's this like hole right here that allows you to prop your clamp open with a little hook. So it allows you to prop your clamp open. Again, you should clean that device surface, make sure it's clean, and you should clean the top of your clamp if there's anything in there. And then you're just going to shine. The open blank is creating your 0 value, like the least reflective thing you can find for your range calibration, right? So for this, you want nothing shiny. You don't want any windows in the way, no mirrors, no light sources. I am shining my reflectometer into the corner of a room with nothing particularly, distracting for the LEDs in the way. So I'm gonna run calibration. This will run another measurement. And then because I'm already connected, I can start my measurement. And again, the light guide is completely exposed, just essentially scanning nothing. And that's gonna be my 0 or my lowest reflectance scanned object. Again, this page doesn't really matter for you. You can just click done and see that you get a success. If you want to scroll down, you can look at the spectral data and it will display. But if you just want to know that it was successful, you can check that banner and move on. Just click next. The next command is just sending data to device. There are no special instructions. Just click send data, and it's going to send that last scan to your device. So start measurement. The LEDs don't flash. It will just come up with this blue JSON custom result, and you can click done, and again get your success. Click next, and now your cuvette standard calibration. So this is the most reflectant thing that your device should encounter, and you'll see here a piece that's screwed in. You should unscrew that. This is your cuvette standard. It's your calibration standard. Each device has its own unique calibration standard. You can read more about how we calibrate these online on our tutorials, but you need to keep this. If you lose it, we would have to intake the device and assign a new calibration standard. It's not a step that can be done at home. When you get this, you want to make sure, looking at the instructions, you want to make sure that it's clean. So you can use your microfiber cloth and just clean it off. As a note, you should look for an arrow and know that the face to which the arrow points is the one that matters. So you want that face to be as clean as possible. There shouldn't be any residue on the outside of the cuvette. And also this is packed with a barium sulfate powder. And that powder can get sort of clumpy over time if you don't use it or if the device is in motion a lot. If you see any visible inconsistencies or grayness or anything, you should tap it on the table next to you just for things to redistribute, for that powder to redistribute and get a smooth surface again. You can also sort of press the sides and the front to get rid of those inconsistencies. And if you're concerned about your standard, again, feel free to reach out. So the first point on this is this should be as clean as possible. The second is with lining it up. Again, this arrow on the standard, you can sort of see it. It's more visible in this image, should align with the arrow on your device. That positioning is key, in addition to your clamp really falling completely flat. Those are both very important. And then there's some common errors that we note below, just in case you're having trouble. Once this is set up though, my cuvette standard is clean, it's inserted, the clamp is right, the positioning is correct. I'm gonna set this on a table, a space that is stable. Even like your hands motion can cause some inconsistency. So set it on a stable, surface, and you can run your calibration. And again, just like with the open standard, you will see the LEDs, but obviously the clamp is closed and the standard is in place, so it will be less obvious. Looks like I've lost connection with my device, so I'm just going to click connect to device, and my phone remembers that this is the device that I'm currently working with. So now it's reconnected. If you ever see that blue LED, the power LED, goes out, you'll need to repower the device and then retry to make sure that you connect. So just make sure that your device, your reflectometer, is powered on. And now I'll run my measurement. And again, this barium sulfate is a highly reflectant substance, so this is seen as the most reflectant thing that your device will encounter. You can look at these results, or you can just click done and you can see your success. If you get a warning error, go back and make sure that your cuvette standard is clean, your light guide on the surface of the reflectometer is clean, and that you've positioned it correctly, scanning the correct face of the cuvette standard. Great. I'm going to click next. And same as the open blank, I'm going to send my data to my device. So it saves this calibration, start measurement, and I'll get that blue JSON. So it's just saving this custom result to my device. I'll click done, and I have a success. The final step to calibration, which again you should do every time you turn this on, essentially, at the beginning of a day, is just making sure that you get a quality check success. So for this, I'm going to remove my cuvette standard and I'm going to reinsert it. I want to make sure I'm getting, if I leave it in and just rescan, that's essentially the same data point as before. I want to make sure I'm getting a new data point, but that it is calibrated correctly so that my my device recognizes this as similar to the calibration. So remove it, reinsert, make sure it's aligned properly as before, and we'll run our quality check. If you end up having trouble or getting errors, there's some text below that has to do with, again, making sure that the cuvette standard is clean, positioning correctly. And then if you continue to get errors and you really can't get it, you might need to redo that initial standard cuvette or cuvette standard scan. Just go back, redo that, resave it, and do a new quality check. So fingers crossed this works, but if not, I can always go back. So I'm going to click done, and I have a success. So that's good. And I can look here. This is the offset from what I just saved. So really, it's all quite close. This 1.23% difference is the biggest change. You'll get an error if you're 2.5% or greater different from your saved value. And now I'll click next, and you'll see here I'm ready to start running my estimates. So that will be the next video. But for now, you've calibrated your device. You've gotten all those successes, and you're good to go, and your device will continue to give you consistent results. Great. Thanks for watching, and hope this was helpful.